spite of being strong. Welcome to the circle. It's a place where you belong. Do you have a burden that seems too much to bear? Do you have a bitterness you don't know how to share? Do you get too angry to breathe, to laugh or pray? Well, there's no one in this circle who has never felt that way. Ooh, 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 ooh. So welcome to the circle. Whatever brought you here, the valleys and the mountaintops, the muddy and the clear, and know your work is worthy, and know your heart is true, and know that all you give away will come circling back to you. You got to know that all you give away will come circling back to you.
Shabbat Shalom. In the room and on the screen, right now I can't really see anyone, so I'm just sending it out there to all of you. Thank you to Kyle at the soundboard. Thank you to Edith with me here on the bima. I want to invite you to take a moment, just a moment. It's finally warm. It's finally starting to be summer. It's finally light out. I remember a couple of years ago, I think my first beginning summer here in Bozeman, Jim said to me, there's nothing better than summer evenings in Bozeman, or maybe Montana. And I guess I'm starting to understand. This is my third time that I have been waiting for the end of winter. And there is something really wonderful about this very moment in the time. This is Shabbat B'chukotai. We're not just finishing winter. We are ending the book of Leviticus. We have had 3, actually almost 4 bar mitzvahs in the last weeks. They all had pretty complex, dragging Torah portions filled with laws and regulations. With this Shabbat, we're ending this book of laws and regulations, and we are back in the chaos of the book of Numbers, which will leave all the rules and regulations behind and confront us with what happens when we actually enter the reality of communal life. And it's utter chaos and always complicated, but also incredibly wonderful. It's my favorite book. So, on the note of finishing and ending and transitioning, Jim, do you want to come up and light Shabbat candles for us? We are on page 120. And do not choose this box if you want to. It is. It's cheating though, but it's easy. You deprive us of those moments of like heightened anxiety, standing here waiting for someone to be able to, And we gather this light, fire and sunlight. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת. יישר כוח. Page 121. The reading in very small letters, fine print, the footnote, help me. Help me perfect my ways of loving and caring. Inspire me to make myself whole, so that I may honor your name and create a world of justice and peace. Martin Buber. Next Friday is Rosh Chodesh Sivan. And Sivan is one of the sweetest months our calendar can bring to us. It contains just one joyful holiday right at the very beginning, on the 6th of Sivan. Shavuot is one of the holidays that does not occur on a full moon, because it doesn't orient itself at the moon. It is simply the end of counting, a counting period that began on the second day of Passover. So what does that mean? It's a small holiday. It's a random holiday. And it has, much to its misfortune, a much bigger brother, and that is Simchat Torah, that celebrates more or less the same things. The giving of the Torah, the gift of Torah, the celebration of Torah in our lives. Shavuot has a few things that only come with that holiday. It brings the taste of fruit. It's a shehechianu moment for the fruits of summer. It brings cheesecake. It brings the midrashim of milk and honey. It was traditionally the moment in which Jewish communities started to teach the Aleph Bet. They would make honey cakes in the shape of Hebrew letters and feed them to the kids. So I today fed Toblerone because I had an epiphany. It's a chocolate in the shape of a mountain, like Mount Sinai, and it contains honey. Obviously, you're supposed to eat it at this time of the year. For the next moments, for the next minutes of singing the Psalms for Shabbat, I want to invite you, don't read the words too closely. Just try to prepare yourself for a month of sweetness and a holiday of Torah and moments of relief, no matter what they look like in your life. Psalm 29, page 136. No, that is not, yes, that is true. And Edith has her real drum, which is amazing. Mizmor leDavid, Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, Havu l'Adonai הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש כל אדוני על המים אל הכבוד תהים אדוני על מים רבים כל אדוני בכוח יין עיני כל אדוני בהדר כל אדוני שובר ארזים וישבר אדוני את עזי הלבנון ויקידם כמו עגל לבנון וסיריון כמו ונעמים ני 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 כל אדוני חצב להבות אש כל אדוני יכיל מדבר יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש כל אדוני יכלה איילות ויחשוף יערות ובחלום כולו אומר כבוד ני 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 אדוני למבול ישב וישב אדוני מלך לעולם אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום יין ני 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 יין ני 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 יין ני 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 yai nai 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 Page 138. The Torah is often called Lady Wisdom. Her name is Sophia in Greek. Her name is Chochma in Hebrew. Her name is Sonia in Russian. I have to share that.
Of course.
Page 138. Whatever her face looks like to you, just make yourself ready. 138, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, B'nei Shabbat Should we start again? I'm sorry.
Yes, let's start again.
Can you sing with me? I'm sorry, I can't get the
know
note.
which note to start on. Hold on.
That's okay, I can get it. Sorry.
B'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela, shamo v'zacho b'dibu echad, ishmiyanu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
verse 5. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי הורי, אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. 140. מזמור שיר, מזמור שיר, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר, מזמור שיר, מזמור שיר ליום השבת. צדיק אתה מה יפרח כארז בלבנון, יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד, ינובון בשיבה, דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד, כי עשה אדוני צורי, ולא עוולה תבוא.
Today, I decided to put up different pictures. Many of you came here for the last 3 years to the High Holiday services. And so you know this reading with which I'm going to open the sermon, because it is one of my favorite readings during the High Holiday season. On Rosh Hashanah it is written, on the fast of Yom Kippur, this is sealed. Who will live and who will die? Who will reach the ripeness of age? Who will be taken before their time? Who by fire and who by water? Who by earthquake and who by plague? Who will rest and who will wander? Who will be tranquil and who will be troubled? And the reading continues. I sat in shul for years, reading these words before I realized the answer. The answer to each of these questions is me. Who will live and who will die? I will. Who at their end and who not at their end? Me. Like every human being, when I die, it will be at the right time and it will also be too soon. Fire, water, earthquake, plague. In my lifetime, I've been scourged and drowned, shaken and burdened, wandering and at rest, tranquil and troubled. That has been my life's journey. And of course, I prefer to deflect this truth. I would much prefer to let the prayers talk about someone else, perhaps the fellow in the next row. It has taken a lifetime to reveal that defense as a lie. The prayer is not about someone else. It's about me. It is a frightfully succinct summary of my existence. So now I read it again, but in the first person, and it makes me shiver. I will live and I will die at the right time and before my time. I will wander, but I might yet find rest. I will be troubled, but I may achieve tranquility. This is the central truth of the high holidays. This is what makes them Yamim Noha'im, days of terror. We are vulnerable. It's a reading by Rabbi Edward Feinstein. We read it every year on Yom Kippur and actually also on Rosh Hashanah, because I made a copy of that page and I put it in the Rosh Hashanah book so we can read it twice. It's something that I often hear even on other days of the year, because I think the reading is about more than just dying. It is a much more holistic reading. It is about life itself. It speaks about two very important feelings that all of us know in one way or the other, even though some French people claim they've never heard about it, and that is regret and gratitude. We all know what regret feels like. It's a nagging doubt that maybe at some point in our lives we should have acted differently in one way or the other. And gratitude always comes with a little bit of relief that we get to enjoy this or that we got to experience this or that we were given a gift. This parsha, the very last parsha of the book of Leviticus, brought this reading to me for a very specific reason. If you follow my laws and faithfully observe my commandments, I will grant your rains in their seasons, so that the earth shall yield its produce, and the trees of the field their fruit. Your threshing shall overtake the vintage, and your vintage shall overtake the sowing. You shall eat your fill of bread and dwell securely in your land. I will grant peace in the land, and you shall lie down untroubled by anyone. I will give the land respite from vicious beasts, and no sword shall cross your land. Your army shall give chase to your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. 5 of you shall give chase to 100, and 100 of you shall give chase to 10,000. Your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. I will look with favor upon you and make you fertile and multiply you, and I will maintain my covenant with you. You shall eat old grain long stored, and you shall have to clear out the old to make room for the new. And then a couple of verses later, but if you do not obey me and do not observe all these commandments, if you reject my laws and spurn my rules, so that you do not observe all my commandments and you break my covenant, I in turn will do this to you. I will wreak misery upon you, consumption and fever, which cause the eyes to pine and the body to languish. You shall sow your seed to no purpose, for your enemies shall eat it. I will set my face against you. You shall be routed by your enemies, and your foes shall dominate you. You shall flee, though none pursues. And if for all that you do not obey me, I will go on to discipline you sevenfold for your sins, and I will break your proud glory. I will make your skies like iron, and your earth like copper, so that your strength shall be spent to no purpose. Your land shall not yield its produce, nor shall the trees of the land yield their fruit. This is me too. This is us too. All of it. We are holding at this very moment in time both the blessings and the curses. We have a country. We have economic success. We have flourishing agriculture. We have relative social stability. We have a democracy. We are strong. We are even overpowering. And sometimes we are violent. It's so accursed to me that I wrote these words about Israel, but they are applicable to this country too. At the very same time, we are also weak. We have been overpowered, humiliated, tortured, and killed. Our crop, which has been growing plentiful, is rotting on the fields. The earth is a copper field that hides a secret from us. Our skies are protected by a shield of iron. And our kids grow up in fear. These blessings and the curses, it's all about us. Just as the reading on Yom Kippur reminds us that every life is a blessing that always ends too early and maybe at the exact same and right time, this reading reminds us that in every moment we are experiencing both blessings and curses. It was only last Monday that more than 100 Gazans died in fire. It's the picture that I put here on the table. It was maybe an accident or not. It brought the numbers up to more than 34,000 dead Gazans. It's a cynical death in many different layered ways. It's cynical because they are used and fed to the media. It's cynical because it seems like there were explosives stored in the middle of a refugee camp that was supposed to give shelter and protection. It is cynical because these kids and women died, because other kids and women are held hostage, were killed and tortured, and no bombing so far was able to change anything about this reality. At the same time this week, 2 more Israeli soldiers, Sergeant Yehonatan Elias and Sergeant Adar Gavriel, died in Gaza, which brought the numbers of dead soldiers in this war to over 130. It is interesting to look at those faces. because those faces are the faces of 18 and 9-year-olds. It is heart-wrenching to realize that both of them have moms, and that these moms now sit at home, sitting Shiva. I don't have any Arabic friends. And you might wonder why this is noteworthy. It is noteworthy because I studied Arabic and Islamic studies for many years of my life. I don't have any Arabic friends because I inevitably, and at some point in our conversations, ran into a very hard wall of anti-Semitism. And I learned that this is where my relationships stop. I don't have an immediate emotional connection when I read about dead Palestinians, the way that I have an immediate emotional connection when I read about dead Israelis. But I think what has become clear to me is that this is maybe deeply human. It is also the cause of all the problems. I can't change my emotions, but at least intellectually I can understand that there are mothers crying over their children on both sides of the wall. The pain, the blood, the burned tents and houses, the grief, and the numbers. The sheer numbers that have been used in this war, the way human beings have been used in this war. The things that have happened to mothers and girls, the elderly, the women, and those soldiers. The assumption of the Israeli Prime Minister that maybe, probably, the soldiers that have been captured will never come back. And the same assumption that more and more soldiers will be sent to Gaza, and some of them will die. En davar, tov lamut be'ardatzenu, are some very famous words by an Israeli army general named Joseph Trumpeldor. He was from Russia. He came from a very famous Russian Jewish family who saved the Tsar in the Russian army for generations. He, at some point of his life, went to Israel with one arm. Then it was Palestine. And together with Jabotinsky, founded the army that would fight underground to free the country from the Turks and then from the British. He was killed in battle. And those famous last words that he said mean, never mind, it's good to die for our country. He was very Russian that way. These words have been quoted and quoted again. These are the words that I thought about when we saw, and I think it was October 8, the picture of an airplane, of one out of many, many, many airplanes full of Israelis flying from South America, North America, Europe, back to Israel, when there were no more flights. And they all looked worried, and they all looked heartbroken, and they all went home. To go home, put on their uniforms, grab their rifles, and go to their army bases. Because that is what you do. I've asked myself, and I know many of you ask yourselves too, what does winning this war mean? And I am thinking today that winning this war would mean to not have to die anymore. Winning would mean not to have to kill anymore. Winning would mean to receive both blessings and curses. Winning means to be a source of blessing and not of curses. Before every battle in the Torah, Moses and later on Joshua addresses the army, the soldiers, the sea of men standing in front of them. Some of them have never fought before. Some of them thought they would never need to fight again. And they always say the same things. Chazak ve'amatz. Be strong and be brave. I'm wondering a lot about this message. It is very obvious what it means to be brave. Brave means to do things that you are afraid of. But it is not altogether clear what does it mean to be chazak, strong. In the Torah, often we think about military strength. But the rabbis took the word and turned it into something altogether different. Tomorrow, when we finish the book of Leviticus, in the end we will sing, Chazak, Chazak, v'nitchazek, strong and stronger, and we will make ourselves stronger. And it's not military strength that we talk about. It is simply an affirmation that we finish this book again, that we lived for another year, that we got to dive again into the sea of blessings and curses, of ethical and moral decisions put in front of us, and that again we made it through another year of making one decision after the other. I had this week a phone call with J Street, members of J Street. And they taught me a piece of Torah that I want to share with you. They said the most important word at this moment in this time is and. Look at both sides. Yes, and. And maybe when we learn to hold both, the things that are blessings to us and curses to others, and the things that are blessings for others and curses for us, maybe then we can be truly chazak and amatz. Maybe then we can be strong without being afraid, and brave without being overly quick, because we will have taken the time to figure out what it means. And mothers do not need to cry anymore. Lechi lach to the place that I will show you. Lech lecha to the place that I will name. Lechi lach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. Page 146. Baruch. Please rise if you're able. Baruch et Adonai Hamevorach
Baruch Adonai Hamorach Le'olam va'ed. Please be seated, 148. Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים. Page 150, Ahavat Olam, with never-ending love have you been guiding us. אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. 158. And this is the time. The Israelites are dwelling at the foot of the mountain. They are afraid more than anything else. They don't even want to hear it firsthand. They don't want to climb up. They want to stay safe. Behind, within a certain very safe distance, they're just watching. What would it take for us to be brave enough in a time without Moses, and at a time without Joshua, to say, I'm going to do it too. I'm going to step into the alfil, into the smoke and the dust and the fire, and I will see what God will have to say to me. Page 158.
Lai 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 Mi kamo hanadon kadesh, nora tehilo sefele, nora tehilo to sefele.
Malchutecha uvanecha, vokei yam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, selianu ve'amru, selianu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Sometimes I think what it would take to step inside is the knowledge that you are going to be okay and that there's cheesecake on top of the mountain. Sorry. I do want to share at this moment that we have an astonishing array of presentations gathered for the evening of Tikkun Leil Shavuot, which is in a week and a half on a Tuesday night. Because this is not the most intuitive, Shavuot is in the middle of the week. Mark your calendars, Tuesday night, 6/11 at 6:30. We're here, and we're going to have our communal night of teaching and celebration. And on the morning of 6/12, which is a Wednesday morning, we are having a Torah service. We're taking the Torah out. Good. Good. So, for all those of us, I do want to say this. I visited this week someone in Big Sky who, as far as I know, has never been a member of this congregation. His name is Lou Quall. He was an attorney, and I talked to him for the very first time last week on Thursday, where we made an appointment, and I promised that I would come up to Big Sky on Wednesday morning. I was there on Wednesday morning, and he was not conscious anymore. So I spent some time with his wife, and there will be a funeral in the foreseeable future. But when I was there, I prayed with him. And after I said the Shema, and I said the priestly blessing. He made a noise, and one never knows what that means. But there was a noise, and there was a moment of recognition. And it made me think about this very childish song we're going to sing just now, Shalom. We're keeping Shabbat, and Shabbat is keeping us. And in certain ways, these prayers, you never know. One day, they might become your connection to the world. Page 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Please rise. 164.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Page 180. And if it's the right time, you can sing, and if it's not the right time yet, take the time you want to take.
עושה שלום במרע, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
ואימו Amen. Please be seated for a moment. On page 181, we reach for you. We reach for you, our God. 181. From our quiet places, may we stand still for a brief moment and listen to the rain. Stand still for a brief moment and watch the play of sunlight and shadow on the leaves. For a brief moment, listen to the world. Let us stop the wheels of every day to be aware of Shabbat. Find the stillness of the sanctuary which the soul cherished. Renew the covenant of an ancient people. We need a quiet space to test the balance of our days, the weight of our own deeds against the heaviness of the world's demands. The balance is precarious. Steady us with faith. Quiet places and stillness, where we will hear our own best impulses speak. Quiet places and stillness, from which we will reach out to each other. We will find strength in silence, and with this strength, we will turn again to your service. Page 377. You may rise if you wish. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shielded beneath the wings of your love, spread over the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tu Yisrael v'Goalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tu Yisrael v'Goalo. את מדינת ישראל, ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו. הגן עליה בברות חסדך, ופרוס עליה סוכת שלומך. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tu Yisrael v'Goalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tu Yisrael v'Goalo. And please remain standing. Page 371. I would love to say Misheberach for Lou Qual and for his wife Jean Qual, who is sitting at his bedside and has been sitting at his bedside for the last 5 days already. I also would love to say at whose bedside Linda is sitting. And I want to say Mishabel for Jim and Linda to get through these times and days, one moment after the other. Is there anybody else you would like to bring in the space? Yes? And Phyllis Lefon and Annika.
Mishebera Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of the body, the renewal of the spirit, and let us say Amen.
I would like to say Kaddish for Yehonatan Elias and Adar Gavriel and all the others. Do you want to lead us in the Kaddish? Page 5. Yeah. אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם מול עלמי עלמיה. בריחו. אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. Please be seated for a moment. Listening to Richard, I also want to share that Richard and Bill this week fulfilled a major mitzvah in accompanying one of our community members to the mikvah, because last Wednesday night, during 2 hours of absolutely magical sunshine on a day that was otherwise pouring rain, Ezra went to the mikvah and finished the process of his conversion. So he is going to give a sermon on August 30th, I want to say, and I think we can all be excited about this, but he was very emotional and very moved. And when you see him the next time, then Mazal Tov and congratulations, I think, are words he actually would like to hear. He allowed me to share this news in the newsletter, and his new Jewish name is Ezra. And so,
I don't know actually if I'm supposed to do this, but I will make more announcements. No, Billy will make more announcements. Wonderful. Good. Good.
But, all I'm going to do is look at my calendar and share that with you. Well, you know about tonight. We're having a Shabbat. Tomorrow there's Torah study at 9:30. We hope to see more than just the usual faces.
I think we will.
I think Rabbi Ed is going to.
No, tomorrow, for anyone who is interested, also beyond the group of regular Torah study attendants, tomorrow we are going to have 2 visitors. One of them grew up in Billings, and he is coming to visit us now in his mid-30s while being on a vacation trip, because in his 20s, he volunteered for 2 years and was a soldier in the IDF in Israel. He has been giving talks since the beginning of the war about his experience serving in the Israeli army. He wants to share narratives of what this is like, what ethical guidance was giving them, what kind of training they received. And I think for all of us who cannot imagine what this is like, maybe because we don't know anyone who served firsthand, this is an opportunity to also ask questions that you might be sitting with right now more than ever before. So there are going to be 2 of them. I have actually no idea who the second person is, other than he shared the same experience, and they're coming together tomorrow, 9:30 till 11:30 to Torah study. Sorry.
Tomorrow afternoon, we're in this group. We're meeting. Monday, book club is meeting. On Sunday. Millennials with issues are going to meet on Monday the 3rd at 4 p.m. Mahjong Tuesday at 1. The board is meeting on Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock. What else is in store for the week? Wednesday is the 21st at Congregation at Shalom. There's an event in are you involved in
Yes, yes. Next Thursday at 6 p.m. in the old synagogue in Butte. And if you have never been, it's worth the drive just to see the old synagogue in Butte. Janet Cornish, who is a longtime member of the Butte Jewish community, has organized a panel discussion between Pastor Miriam from Big Sky and me, and someone local from Butte who is an expert in pagan rituals, about the meanings of the holidays and why we celebrate them the way we celebrate them. So I think it is going to be a very sweet evening in this really beautiful building. Suzanne and I are driving together, and if you want to take the drive upon you over the Continental Divide, please come. Thursday, 6 p.m. in the old synagogue in Butte.
And the only other thing is, and I hope I'm not out of order for mentioning this, but Kim Lewis is hosting, inviting, are hosting an event for Rebel Thursday.
The 6th.
Thursday the 6th. So, in support of his election. So you should, if you're interested, you should be attending. And that's all. That's the thing.
Well, yes, and one thing, so Sunday in 1 week, 2 p.m. is the annual congregational gathering here, which is important if you want to know more about our finances, our board structure, and our board members.
our new board members. And there's one very sweet thing, and it's a last-minute thing. Tomorrow, very spontaneously, towards the end of women's group, Mira Amiraz is going to come by and give a little workshop in the framework of Suzanne's workshop for the women's group about Hebrew names and their deeper meaning. And I'm going to send out an article later today to the members of the women's group. And if you wish to come, even though you're not a woman, then you should, because what Suzanne has prepared is absolutely wonderful.
And please do, if you can, come visit in the meeting. We do need a quorum in order to conduct business at the annual meeting, and we have very, very important things to consider.
Thank you, Billy. Let's finish with Shalom Aleichem, 627.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hashem, Malachi Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bohem Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Machuni leShalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzichem leShalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom.
Kiddush is in the social hall, and we will make it happen even without our Cody, who is at a wedding. Shabbat Shalom, you all.